We are rolling.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is officially, after a long, long wait, episode 12 of Your House, Our Rules. We are back for the first time, June 18th. I wrote this down, Keith. June 18th was our last episode. That was episode 11. This is episode 12. We are effing back. How the hell are you?
I am doing just fine, man. Lots happened. Lots happened in the past couple months. It's definitely been a long time. We should have really been on it a little bit more, but I guess this will kind of bring us into our first point a little bit. You know, it is a little bit of a different of a scene that we got here. Max is no longer with us. Don't think that won't mean that Max will probably be on here, because I'd imagine that we'll be seeing Max in the future when he comes and wants to come do a podcast. But the whole reason why Max isn't here anymore is because we kind of just had a little bit of creative differences with Max. He wanted to take the thing a little bit more seriously, do a lot of research on topics and get a little bit more in depth and stuff like that. And me and Harmeyer kind of felt like the original idea that we wanted to have for a podcast was like, let's just turn on the mics where we're bullshitting around and see what happens. It's always been something for me that's like content to produce. I always feel like I have shit to say, and I'm going to say it. So let's turn the mics on and do it. And I'm really busy right now, so this is about all we can do. The production's probably going to drop a little bit on the show. Not necessarily drop, but we're going to fix it to one camera, so I'm not doing all kinds of editing and stuff like that. I can focus on other avenues and stuff like that. So you got anything to say about that?
Nope, I think we're all square. Yes, we still love Maxie.
Oh,
yes,
definitely.
just a little creative differences. We're ready to roll, though.
Yeah.
We have a lot to catch up on today.
Yeah.
There is a shitload of stuff that has happened.
I do also want to talk about the brand of Your House, Our Rule before we start breaking into that a little bit more. So,
fair.
One thing that has happened, I kind of talked to Max and Harmeyer about this. I will kind of be turning the Your House, Our Rule brand into something that is more like a creative hub for people who just want to get their content out there. So if there's people who have a podcast that they want to get shared on the page, or anybody who's streaming some video games like I be doing all the time, and then maybe if you have a new track that you released, or any like an art that you want to have shared on the page, I think we're going to kind of share that around everything. I know that's going to be a big role that I have to do. I don't know if Harmeyer's necessarily going to get involved with it as much, but definitely get on the Facebook page and like and share that around as much as humanly possible, because things are coming. So now that I've talked about that a little bit, let's get into like some of the stuff that's been happening with you in the past, 6 months?
Yes.
7 months?
Tons of stuff. But yes, and to his point, if anybody has anything that they want in terms of like content creation that they want help on, or if they want somebody sharing it or anything, you can contact either of us. He is going to be the more technical person, but either of us will be good contacts.
We also might want to talk a little bit before we get in that about how we kind of there is a little bit of a void with Max not there, and we kind of are open to the idea of just doing weekly podcasts with having random guests on all the time. And like, it wasn't one of those things where like you necessarily need to have a topic to talk about, but someone who can just come down and sit and bullshit with us. So
yes.
I've already talked to a couple people that do want to come on it, and hopefully we can get that rolling. Schedules clash a little bit, but hopefully we can get that going, and you'll see some good characters come around here.
Yes, if you are a good character, and I mean, if you can look yourself dead serious in the mirror and be like, I'm a good character, you hit us up, and maybe we'll let you on. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. But in terms of a recap on life, so in the last 6 months, I would have purchased a home.
Both of us.
Yes. First time home buyers for the both of us. Mm-hmm. Moved out of our parents' houses. I bought a puppy. He is an angel and he is the devil. God damn him. His name is Griffey. He's as cute as a button.
This man legitimately has a camera on his dog right now while recording this podcast.
I do have a camera. I would pull it up. I don't think you'd be able to see it very well, but I've got a camera just to make sure. The kid poops everywhere. It's the craziest shit in the world. Extreme. I mean, he's got separation anxiety. Big time, which I guess is the thing in Huskies. He's like a Husky mix with a couple other things.
Adorable puppy.
He's adorable. He's dope, but yeah, no, he likes to poop when people aren't there. Like, he'll shit right on the rug. He has no regard.
Dude, you brought him over like the first time when you had first got him. Just a little thing. I saw him 2 weeks later and he grew like twice the size, but he didn't shit on my floor once. Got some nice linoleum in my new house, so it would have been an easy cleanup anyway. He can
Correct.
shit on my house, dude. Griff's allowed to do that.
Okay, fine. Well,
Only dog allowed to do that.
I give him free reign to poop in your house because you have given him free reign, and he won't do it if you're looking at him. But the minute you close an effing door,
Dude, this anxiety with your
pooping.
dog, man, that's something else.
I mean, he's getting over it now. He's kind of getting past it, thankfully. I mean, he's like, I don't know, 18 weeks.
Yeah.
September 20th is when he was actually born. I got him in late November. So we're a little bit in. We're getting used to each other. I work from home all the time, so it's very nice just having him around the house, kind of chilling.
Oh, you're so lucky to be working out of the home.
It's amazing.
I drive because I got a new job actually in the past 6 months too, and so I'm working more of an office job. You know, handling some sales and like doing the day to day in the office and stuff like that. That's something that I have done, but yeah, I forget where I was going with that statement. To be completely honest, it was a good segue.
Also a home buyer.
Yeah, also a home buyer, but
you have a cage in your basement.
What? No, what I was saying before was that you were talking about working from home. We had a little bit of a coronavirus at our new job, a little coronavirus outbreak, and I got tested. I ended up coming back negative, but while I was waiting for my test results, I got to work from home for 3 days. Boy, I can do my whole job sitting right here, and I don't have to drive 45 minutes to and from work.
Yep. Yeah. It's amazing. And now I think my work might just do it like as a full-time thing just because they realize nobody should be driving to work. We can all do our jobs from our desks, so it's like, who gives a shit? Let's just do it from home.
That was definitely something that the coronavirus, which I guess had a good implication from the coronavirus. A lot of companies are realizing that they do not need their employees to, in fact, be at the job site.
Yes.
They can work from home. Now, see, if you're an installer or something, like I got guys who go out and install windows where I'm at. Of course, they have to be on site, but like you and I, we can do it all from home, dude.
Right. I just chill. And I just make crazy ass meals. Not crazy, but like at lunch, I'll just be like, whatever, I'll throw a steak on the grill.
I've recently been cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a
random
big thing.
stuff. Have you been like following recipes or just like whatever you're
No,
feeling?
like I'm like legitimately cooking now.
Okay.
Like something that I've never really done before. Like ever. I've always had home cooked meals from my mom and stuff growing up, but never actually like delved into it. I figured I got a new house and I'm living by myself now. So when I was living with Max over there at Townhill, man, it was like eating out a lot there, and you find that you spend a lot of money eating out. So yeah, I decided to start cooking, and I think I'm actually doing a pretty good job. Give me some chicken and rice bowls, make some fire ass breakfast burritos. I made a nice little. My mom calls it rigatoni, but I use different pasta. I use like macaroni pasta. It's just like marinara, mozzarella cheese, season the chicken, put it in there with some pasta, dude. Melt it all together.
I mean, that sounds delightful. I'm going to have to be the end judge of this. People on camera, they don't know anything about this. So at some point, you're just going to have to cook a meal for me, and then I'll just have to eat it. It'll be a taste test. We'll do a taste test live on
the podcast. Next podcast, I'll cook. I'm actually throwing down. I hope you like spicy food. But that's the thing, man. You don't eat onions.
No, and yeah, for anybody who's obviously listened to this for a while, if you're new here, I don't eat vegetables.
It's crazy.
It's a problem. I mean, it's a real problem. Onions are really the only one you can hide onions in things, and I'll be kind of fine with it. They just have to be really cooked.
That's the thing about
they
Max.
Got the huge onion taste.
You always wanted Max to cook for you. I don't think he'll actually like just start sneaking vegetables in there. Actually, he kind of will because like salsa. Like I've seen you eat salsa before. Yeah. That's just blended vegetables.
Yeah, no. Believe me, my brain doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
It's like, a brain thing.
That rigatoni stuff that I was telling before, I put onions in that. I bet you wouldn't even notice they were in
Probably
there.
Wouldn't.
I'm just going to cut them up real small.
Yeah, there's definitely, if you cut them up small enough, I honest to God wouldn't. But, okay, we're off topic. Either way, next episode, a live taste test of the rigatoni that this kid's going to make me. Things that we have missed in real life that have happened in society in the past 6 months. There are quite a few things. So obviously, the coronavirus is still a thing. If you would have told me in June that coronavirus is still a thing, right now in late January, I would have been like, "You're kind of an idiot." But
I mean,
here we are.
I kind of knew it. The thing about it was it's something that came out and really shocked everybody. It shocked the world, and then we kind of got used to it a little bit. Now it's kind of like something that's being dragged along and just kind of. I don't want to say fucking up lives because to be completely honest, I just had a guy who's actually in the hospital. Prayers for Lloyd. He's still in the hospital from when we had the coronavirus back in December.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just got off the ventilator and stuff. He's 60 years old. He's diabetes, former smoker and stuff. So it does kind of make sense, but it attacks the older population. I think that's a lot of the reasons why we have the restrictions we do. I mean, I went over and I picked up my cousin from my grandma's house the other day, and like I was like, I'm just gonna stay over here, Grandma. Like you stay there.
Stay away from her.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So
That seems safe.
yeah, but for the most part, there's a lot of restrictions and stuff like that that are just kind of getting a little bit weird. Like I'm going to a show tomorrow, and like they're doing the pod seating and stuff like that, but it's like a normal bricked show. It's the same amount of time that we would have for a normal show. It's just starting at 4:00 instead of 8:00. So
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of random time constraint things that just make next to no sense.
yeah,
I did see. I mean, Ohio at least just added an extra hour onto our
11
curfew a
o'clock.
couple days ago. It was 10 o'clock for the past months. Just jumped up to 11 because we've had less than 3,500 hospitalizations. I think it was 7 straight days, and then DeWine ended up deciding that we should get another hour. So I guess if we get another 7 straight days, then he's going to bump it another hour, so on and so forth until the curfew is gone entirely.
I think a lot of that has to do with the president change too.
Possibly.
I don't think that it was necessarily Biden who did it, but I think that we might have been spinning this coronavirus a lot to make Trump look bad, so he didn't get as many votes and got out of the office. Which we can also talk about that if you want to.
That is another thing. Definitely something. I mean, we would have 1,000% talked about the election had we been recording that entire time. Yeah, the election, obviously a massive thing. I mean, it ended up being such a drug out event because Trump declared that there was fraud voters and blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, basically all of those claims were just fraud themselves. So, yeah,
man,
Joe Biden's the president.
Well, what do you think about the actual election? Do you think it's rigged?
I don't. Also, I don't vote. If anybody, and people might be really upset by that, be like, oh, it's your duty. It's like, dude, I don't trust any of these people running for office.
I don't think it matters.
Right. But I've had people that I have said I don't vote to, and they'll be like, oh my God, that's like so disrespectful that you would waste your duty like that. And it's like, okay, well, if I'm not going to do any of the research, which I won't, because I don't, then why would I vote? Like, if I don't honestly believe in one of the people running, you just want me to cast a vote to cast a vote.
Yeah.
That's way worse than actually, like that's way worse than just not going.
And that's the reason why I kind of have accepted that. I think this election shows that like our vote really didn't matter, because I do believe that it was like a genuinely rigged election. I look around and I see all the support that Trump had and stuff like that, and like how little support I see for Biden actually, and like just knowing how divided the liberal party is right now and stuff like that. I thought there wasn't a chance in hell that he would win, but somehow we're here. And then I mean, when it comes down to it and stuff like that, Ohio, which has like 6 times the population of Nevada, we got our ballots counted in one day, and Nevada took like what, a week before we finally figured that out. It's just
I never understand any of this stuff.
But yeah, it's just that kind of showed me that like, people in power are going to keep their power, and they will choose our government and who runs it. So
right.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation that we got going on, and we are a divided country right now, and it's
super
divided.
Super. And stemming from the election, another thing that we would have missed is the attack on the Capitol itself.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to kind of move into.
Unbelievable. Like, these people were literally just walking up to the goddamn Capitol building, broken, sitting in the goddamn chambers. Dude, like, it was like, what the F?
So I know some people that were actually at the Capitol when they happened.
Oh,
and like,
no.
Yeah, and the guy actually was in there and stuff like that, and he came back. I found out that this guy is actually kind of like a conspiracy theorist type dude. He's one of those dudes that came back and was like, dude, we were sitting there and we were yelling at everyone, don't break anything. And Tifa was there breaking stuff on purpose to make us look bad and shit like that. And now, don't get me wrong, I will preface this. Antifa is definitely known for like sending people into like far-right rallies and stuff like that and just fucking shit up so that it makes that party look bad and stuff like that. Like, they do that shit, but the president literally called for people to march on the Capitol. And, like, yeah, he didn't ask them to storm the Capitol, but that's what happened. And all these Trump supporters, when Trump wins, they're like, you know what? They're like, just calm down. He's your president now. You need to just accept that and stuff like that. And like, once the president loses, how terribly is he handling it?
Oh, I mean, the worst any president has ever handled it by a long shot. Just being such a fucking baby.
Didn't even show up to the
about
inauguration
everything.
and stuff like that. And you know what? Like, I don't like Trump. I'm happy to see him out of office. I don't think Biden's any better, but
I mean, yeah, I don't really. I mean, honestly, you could vote like one of us for president. I'd be like, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
yeah.
I just never think it makes that big of a difference. Other stuff that has happened. Obviously, there are a lot of things day to day that has happened. Something that happened very recently that is actually still pretty current news that we can definitely talk about is the stock market. If anybody is not following the stock market stuff, you are missing out on a whole bunch of fun because from the very bare minimum of what I understand, which is not a ton.
This is something that I don't really understand. I was
Right.
talking with
This
Stolzy a little bit.
This is somebody basically on Reddit being like, here's how I explain it for 6-year-old idiots. Me. So, very rich.
Break it down, Harmai.
Very rich person wants to short GameStop stock to somehow gain control of more of their money. I don't really know how any of this works.
So I heard that the way it kind of works was it was almost like betting. And because GameStop, it's a digital world now, there's not really much need for GameStop anymore. No one needs a hard copy of video games anymore. They're like, they destroy you when you go in there and try to trade in video games. But apparently it was like, it's almost like taking bets that the company's going to fail. And because all these stock market people see that, they were betting that it wouldn't fail. So some dude on Reddit was like, you know what? Let's just throw a bunch of money into GameStop stock. And it blew up.
It exploded. And I don't actually have the numbers or anything like that, but it was 200, 300, 400, 500% rises in this stock in 3 days just because a Reddit page was like, F that rich guy.
And it was definitely some
it
was definitely like some sweaty neckbeard World of Warcraft player that just posted on a video game Reddit and it was like, let's just get GameStop.
Yes.
Dude, I saw some memes and stuff that said people really underestimated the World of Warcraft guys doing raids. They're out here outstocking stockbrokers.
It was awesome. And then these pieces of garbage, they shut it down. Like Robinhood's
they didn't shut it.
all of the apps.
They didn't shut it down. From what I understand, they're limiting the amount that you can buy in the stock.
Well, yesterday, so they put a limit on it today. Yesterday, they shut it off completely.
Yeah.
At some point, Robinhood stopped listing GameStop, and there's couples. There's like 4 or 5 different stocks. Like I know Nokia is one, AMC Entertainment is one. There's been a couple that have kind of got involved in this big thing. I think once they stopped GameStop, everybody was rushing to these other things. So they basically just, because they knew these giant hedge funds and giant companies that give Robinhood so much money were losing so much money. They're like, oh, we can't upset the big guys. We're shutting this off. I mean, it was like stopping the free market in its tracks. It was like the most
free market.
Yeah, it was the most illegal thing I've ever been a part of.
This just goes back down to the people in power will keep their power and they will choose themselves. And these small guys are making money and they're outbroking these stockbrokers who do it for a living. And they're over there you can't do this anymore. It's like a billionaire gambling at a casino. And when he bets and you bet against him, that's okay. He can keep taking your money. But the second he stops losing money, you're not allowed to place bets anymore because he's losing money. Yep. And then you find out he's actually owns part of the fucking casino and shit like that. So,
it's unbelievably a rigged system. And the worst part about it is it's going to get drug out. It's going to go to the courts, all of that. It's just going to end up nothing. It's just going to be whoever the big corporation is, they're going to win because they're going to be able to fork over the money. They're going to get the good lawyers. Everybody at the end of the day is going to be like, oh, let's keep the rich people happy.
Well, it might end up going really high up in the Supreme Court and stuff like it could find some legs. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I would love it.
I mean, it'd be awesome.
It's only been 3 days and they've already shut it down from the thing. Right. So, I mean, the court could rule otherwise, but I don't think it will.
Right.
So.
And now they're back to, they list it
I'm interested to see
the apps, but they're limiting how much people can buy, basically.
I'm interested to see if this might lightweight change the game, though. if we'll start seeing the little guy be like, you know what? Now that we know this works, let's just get a Reddit community together and start throwing money into random stocks. It'd be so great, dude.
Just every
it's like a minimum wage income or whatever the hell it is, like a livable income or something like that. But we make it ourselves. Like all the like middle class and poor people get together, like, yo, start throwing stocks in this, and all of a sudden that $600 stimulus check becomes that $2,000 fucking self-made stocks.
It would be so awesome if just every Wednesday on Reddit somebody was like, hammer this now, and then you could just make thousands of dollars in like 5 hours.
You know what's crazy? Back when I used to play like RuneScape back in 7th and 8th grade and shit like that. Like, did you have an account on RuneScape?
I didn't, but I remember watching like you play and all of our buddies from grade school play all the time.
So at one point, they had this thing called the Grand Exchange where you could go in and buy and sell your goods on like a fucking marketplace, and people could just buy and shit like that. Well, people started abusing the game to a point where they were like, hey, you know what? Buy all of this really shitty item, and they found out they buy them real early, and the price would spike up in the game and go up like 200 times its price, and then all the dudes at the top would be like, all right, sell, and just make like billions of coins in the game.
Literally like, just a stock market in the game.
Dude, but fucking, it's crazy to think that happened in real life with actual stocks.
Pretty much. I had to get in. I mean, as a betting man, I did retire for some period of time. That's another personal thing. I retired from gambling.
Right.
During the time after I bought my house, I was losing so goddamn always. I retired for like a month and a half. I'm back on the wagon. You got one as you sent them my way. But I was having so much fun reading tweets about the stock market. I bought cryptocurrency. Dude. The cryptocurrency I bought, Dogecoin.
I'm trying to get into it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the cryptocurrency, I don't think this cryptocurrency can actually purchase anything in real life.
Yeah, it can.
Can it? I don't know. I know Bitcoin works at a lot of places, but I don't know if this Dogecoin works.
Yeah, well, I think we're starting to see a movement away from cash currency. Like,
I mean, it'd be
like
awesome.
Actual in-thing currency, because, like I said before, we're living a digital world right now.
Well,
Why not just make money digital too?
It'd be way easier. I'm surprised that cryptocurrency hasn't become used for a lot more things in daily life. But...
It's those big leagues up in Wall Street and stuff like that having issues with it because
nobody actually regulates it.
No, it's a whole different system now.
Right.
Like, they don't want to go away from the old system. Once you start moving cryptocurrency, people like you and me might start breaking up and being into the billionaires and stuff like that, because we're getting into the game early and we're learning how it fucking goes. Just a whole different system, man.
Be awesome. But yeah, I have Dogecoin. So if that thing pops off, because it's at like 3% of 1 penny, I don't know. I have no idea.
You just saw it on like a Reddit post?
I just saw so many people posting about it, and I went to Reddit, and it's like hashtag Doge. I'm like, I'm in. That's all that it took.
I'm trying to get into
if this thing takes off. I mean, who's to know?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it too. My cousin was like, "You need to buy cryptocurrency," and I was like, "Okay, we need to talk about this so I can actually sit down and do it right, because I'm not gonna do what you did, just randomly throw money in." But at the same time, you said that it was like what 0.3% of.
Yeah, it's like 3% of a penny.
Yeah,
and they want to push it to $1. Like, the amount of leaps and bounds that you have to go.
Yeah, if you pushed, actually, we came up with 33,000 before. I think it's actually 330. $330,000.
$1,000?
Yeah, because it's 0.3% of a cent.
It's an unbelievable amount of money. If it actually ever hit $1, I would have a lot of money. It would be awesome. But
that's crazy.
The likelihood of it happening, I'm not getting my hopes up. But man, do I love checking my app like every 8 minutes to be like, where are we at?
I actually have a Bitcoin wallet that I used like years ago. I commented that I was trying to get into, or I posted on Facebook that I was trying to get into like stocks and stuff like that. And C-Rob actually posted, he was like, he said something, he said get into cryptocurrency. I was like, I actually have done it before, and I was like, and I have a wallet. I was like, it was like $5 in Bitcoins that I have in the market. He messaged me back and was like, dude, that's at like $35,000 a share right now.
Dude, Bitcoin is
so I might need to get on my MacBook and find out if I lightweight might have like $100,000 in my bank account.
Yeah, dude, there was a point in time that I went through a gambling website and they would only pay me in Bitcoin. I don't know where that is. I have no idea.
See, the fact that you were using Bitcoin for a fucking gambling sports. That's incredibly sketchy.
It was incredibly sketchy.
I'll
They
tell you,
wouldn't send me
I
a
will-
check.
I'm
They're
not gonna
like,
s-
all we can do is
I'm not going to
Bitcoin.
say what I was using Bitcoin for, but it was pretty sketchy when I was using it. Especially
fair.
because when I was using it, Bitcoin, like people didn't know what Bitcoin was.
No.
Yeah, no one knew what Bitcoin was.
But
so.
yeah, no, crypto's exploding. The stock market just might explode on
Yeah.
itself. I have no idea, but it is the most fun thing to pay
Using
attention to.
Bitcoin for gambling, bro. That's fucking hysterical.
I mean, it's a tough scene, but
yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a tough scene. What'd your bookie look like, dude?
Well, no, I didn't even know my bookie. It was a website that was run out of Paris,
okay.
France.
Were you downloading Tor and shit to get there?
No, it was just an app. Mybookie.ag. Don't ever use them. Speaking of which, those motherfuckers, they never paid me. Well, they might have paid me. I don't know what that Bitcoin is, though. They're like, yep, it's somewhere. I'm like, okay.
Those gambling sites get fucking crazy. There's a video game called Counter Strike or CS:GO, if you've ever heard of it or whatever.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Well, they had this huge problem. This is like actual problem. I was talking about RuneScape. There's actually like these huge problems with video games releasing their currencies and like people using that currency to fucking sell for real world cash.
Oh, really?
Type shit. Yeah, and like CS:GO used to have these skins that you could put on your guns and stuff like that. And people used to like bet money on these websites to get these skins and stuff, and they were like so fucking rigged and sketchy and stuff like that. And like there were really famous people who would like start these skin sites and stuff to gamble for skins and stuff like that, and they got busted and like their reputations were ruined and shit like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, money,
Money runs the world.
money, dude.
But
Put you in some
in
fucked up
terms of
situation.
other big news, I don't really have anything else. Major news wise, less important things. We would have missed an entire Bengals football season in between.
Yeah.
You guys would have
So-
gotten to see me on a regular basis crying on
So,
Sundays.
actually,
about how
that
bad
brings
we
up- that-
stink.
That brings up an interesting point. I think it was the first episode that we ever recorded was the Joe Burrow episode, and I bet Max that the Bengals would not win more than 4 games this
Yes.
year. And they won exactly 4.
Yep.
So the bet was that
Max has to supply you with food on Super Bowl.
yeah, who is buying
Right.
food for the Super Bowl for everyone. Now I did tell him, I was like, dude, honestly, if you didn't do it, I really wouldn't care. But yeah, and the only reason I said that though was because I told Sigmund, I bet Sigmund that the Patriots were still going to win the AFC this year, and we bet a case on
big
it.
bad.
I was so trashed when I made that. I don't even remember doing it. I told Sigmund straight up, I was like, I'm probably not going to pay you.
Yeah,
for that.
he's kind of a shithead. About
Yeah,
that.
he told me that it was just a case though, and I was like, okay, I can do a case. So I was
Well,
like,
then you should pay it.
yeah, I'll get a case. I'll get a case. So.
Just a game of honor. But yes, the Bengals stunk this year.
No honor.
We
They
have
suck.
another high pick. We'll talk to the. I mean, we have plenty of time now. We're going to be hopefully recording every week, putting out an episode.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have like a lot more lockdown schedule because I'm so busy with the new job and other avenues that I really can't record during the week. So I think we'll probably have a new episode every Sunday and record on Saturday.
Okay. Perfect.
But yeah, going back to the Bengals, they suck this year.
They sure did. So hopefully a new draft pick. Yeah, we got plenty of time for me to bitch about the Bengals. But yeah, we missed an entire season.
We need to get an O-line. We can dive into it a little bit.
I mean, Burrow's dead.
Yeah, we're like 27.
I mean, Burrow. I mean, his knee died. His knee literally died.
I'm sure
on the
he'll be
field.
fine, but the fact that
I think he will be. He will, but like,
Yeah.
God, that was so frustrating to just be like, okay, well, the only reason his knee just got amputated by a player on the field.
We have
is
no O-line.
because we have no O line.
we have no O-line, and it's been an issue, and he got hurt because of it this year, and like, you know what, everyone was getting mad at the Bengals and stuff. I got really mad on Facebook that one day when everyone was like, boycott the Bengals and fucking, oh, they fucking suck. I'm just a strong believer that like you should support your damn team. And like, shut up about it. Like, yeah, we fucking suck. The Browns won a fucking playoff game before us, dude.
Dude, I hate the Browns.
Dude, I can't stand them. My dad and like Jack and my cousin and like Max, they were all like, I'm really pulling for the Browns this year's in the playoff. I was like, why? I was like, why would you see the one team that we were better than actually win a playoff game before us? They were the only team that had a longer streak without a win than us.
I mean, yeah, no, it's heartbreaking to see because it's like, wow, they can do it. The fucking Browns can do it, and we cannot.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm happy they got shit down by the Chiefs the game after.
Yeah.
That helped me out a little bit. I'm not even that mad. Like, because they beat the Steelers, I was like, okay, I guess it was like kind of a no lose situation. Like either the Browns lose or the Steelers lose, and then to see either of them get punked by the Chiefs in the next round would have been awesome to see. So I'm thankful that that happened. In terms of the Super Bowl, because that is literally in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
just because I don't want to see Tom Brady win another Super
I know,
Bowl for
dude.
no reason, you got to pull for the Chiefs.
Everyone's been asking me like, who do you got in the Super Bowl? And I always tell who I think's going to win or whatever. I just say the Buccaneers. I can't go against Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Even though he's only like 50% or something like that, or 500. No.
I mean, for that, in pro football, that's like unheard of.
And by the way, I think we found out this year that like the whole Belichick Tom Brady duo, it might have been a lot more Tom Brady than I thought.
It is a lot of Tom Brady. I mean,
Gronk
it's hard
went
to
with
say,
him though, didn't he?
Yeah, Gronk didn't, because Gronk retired and then came back to come to Tampa Bay. But the Belichick thing, it's hard because they had 4 or 5 starters on defense opt out of the season because of coronavirus. And
The entire season?
Yeah.
Oh.
They had a lot of players that opted out. I don't think they were all on defense. There was offensive and defensive, but there was probably about 5 or 6 players that opted out of the entire season. So I don't know if that was a Bill Belichick chess move of being like, you know what, let's suck this year, get a good pick, and then we bring back our forces. I have no idea. I just never put anything past. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady have sunk so much into the back of my head.
Dude, they've done it to everyone. When you're talking about just like sports phenomenons, the fucking Belichick and Brady duo at the Patriots is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, what have they been like fucking 12 Super Bowls now or something like that?
Well, they've won 6.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So they've won 6 in I think 9 tries or 8 tries or something along those lines. But it's over like 20 years. Yeah. And I mean, if Brady wins his 7th, he will have more than any sports team in the any team in the NFL. The Steelers and the Patriots are tied at 6, I believe. Mm-hmm. So if Brady gets his personal 7th, he will lead NFL history in Super Bowls over teams.
That's an accomplished to say in any sport. 7 championships.
Insane.
Yeah, unless you're like Bill Russell.
I mean, 11. That's absurd.
Yeah,
I mean,
granted, that was just a different era, man.
Bill Russell, yeah. I mean, you're balling on like white mailmen.
Well, they had that
jobs.
Celtics team had 4 players that had 11 championships.
Dude, they would have had a lot. I mean, Kevin McHale was
some
on
of them
that
had
team.
like 7 and 8, but yeah, they ran through people.
Yeah, no, those teams were unreal. But I mean, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, we're literally Tom Brady. It is. If anybody is like, oh, Tampa Bay, like that's who you're picking as your winner solely because Tom Brady, I 100% get it.
Yeah, but I think the Chiefs are a little bit better.
It's just hard to bet against how good Patrick Mahomes is and how good the Chiefs can be when they actually like turn it on. When they're actually like, you know what, fuck this, we're really good at football, and then they just 4 touchdowns in a row. They just go, and it's like all drives that are like less than 5 minutes. Yeah. It's kind of insane how fast they can turn it on. But so Super Bowl coming up. That's going to be very weird without any fans. I think The Weeknd is playing halftime. So I don't know how that's going to be. I'm sure it'll be good. Bruno Mars is still my favorite.
Bring back some weird ex-girlfriend memories, but...
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's like all of his songs.
That was her entire playlist, man. It was The Weeknd. I swear to God.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Bitch.
But anyway, yeah. So no fans. That's weird. I wonder if they're going to do the actual Super Bowl performance. I wonder if they're just going to like pre-record that.
They're doing some fans. but it's like only 10% or 20. Yeah. I don't know what the capacity level is. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have like a real like on center field type of thing, or if they're just gonna have like a big production video wise of him doing it at like a theater by himself or some shit
because
like that.
we were watching like me and Max when we were at Town Hall, we were watching America's Got Talent one night, or he was watching America's Got Talent for some reason, and like everything that they were doing was not on stage. It was pre-recorded in like Hollywood or something like that and sent in, and they played them on like a mega screen. I was like, this isn't legit. Like fuck count. This. They've had time to like practice this and choreography, even though they're already doing that, but they weren't one take videos and stuff like that. So yeah. So I think for a Super Bowl performance, though, that might actually work.
I think it could.
Yeah, because instead of having it live, because you don't have the capacity or whatever, you could do it that way, and like that'd be a way to like bring in the viewers at home because most people are viewing it from home. So
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, we're all watching from home anyways. So I mean, if they can do it off-site and have even more production because they don't have to do it on a field that's also being used for football.
Yeah.
I mean, they could actually have a lot more cool shit going on in whatever place they end up recording all that stuff. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the Super Bowl is awesome. So I was thinking it was going to be Packers and the Chiefs. Packers just shit down their own leg.
I was really pulling for my doppelganger.
I mean, I wanted the Bills. The Bills, that would have been the funnest thing of all time. What is it,
Bills Mafia? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Bills Mafia, yeah.
Great.
I mean, Bills Mafia, that would have been a story for the little guys.
I was really pulling for the Bills too in the playoffs. I meant to watch a little bit more of the playoffs, but I just didn't get around to it. I'm trying to stay busy, working on like streaming and all that stuff. But yeah. As for sports though, we also do have that other topic if you wanna touch it. The Biden passing that bill to let to let transgender biological males compete in women's sports. So
yes, lots of women very upset by this on the internet, and I agree with them. I mean, I get it. It's a fine line where it's like you can't judge them for being trans, but in certain cases, like the hormonal differences in a biological male and a biological female, the fact that a biological male can just jump into women's boxing, like literally, if you're going from men's martial arts to women's martial arts, you are going to actually hurt the F out of some people.
And that's what Joe Rogan was saying on the entire issue. He was like, if we do this with like martial arts and shit like that, he's like, you're legitimately going to kill people, like maim people. That's not fair. No. Like that's not fair at all. And like you can look at it this way, man. When it comes down to it, a biological male and a biological woman, if they have like no athletic training at all, and you put them in like a gym together and they're the same height, same weight, same everything, and like that, the man is going to have 3 times more like muscle density. I think it's like 3 times more muscle density. So like you go to do a chest press or something, he's going to be able to put up more weight at the same height and weight. And then on average, we're a lot bigger and stuff like that. I saw an article that was like, the caption of it was a little fucked up, but it was like, it was 220 pound, 6'2" male absolutely destroys in women's handball league. And he was literally just like chesting this chick, like straight up just trucking her, getting ready to score a goal and stuff like that, man. And the thing is, like, I've met a couple trans people before, and, like, they're going through a process, changing their bodies and stuff like that. But this was straight up a man just playing against women. There was literally, like, scruff on his face. He had long hair, but,
Did he just, like, identify as a woman or something?
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing with it. Now you can just kind of say, oh, I identify as a woman, and, like, if you couldn't make it in men's sports, now you can play women's sports.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I don't know how often that's going to happen, but the fact that it could happen, like the worst NBA player who sits at the end of the bench could be like, you know what, I'll go play in the WNBA. I'll just identify as a woman. I mean, he'd be a stud.
Yeah, dude. I'd say that most college men's basketball teams would whoop any WNBA team.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say that. And then and let's not even talk about that. It's also like the amount of opportunities that are being lost by women because of this issue and stuff like that. Because like, imagine being really good at sports in high school and like you're going on a full ride scholarship to get a fucking education and shit like that, and that's getting given away to some dude because he's just born differently than you are, and able to dominate you and shit like that. Like you're missing out on opportunities, and if there wasn't already a glass ceiling for women anyway, it's already hard enough to like get ahead of men in this society, and now this shit's happening. So.
Yeah, it's just ass backwards. I don't get it.
It is. And I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to put anyone down. If you want to be trans, that's completely fine.
Oh,
like
1,000%.
I see no issue with that. You are who you want to be. Do you, boo boo? That's one of my life mottos, dude. Like do you? But like, there's a point where you have to draw the line, and this just isn't fair. It's really. I agree.
I'm definitely on the same page there. It kind of came out of nowhere. It felt like too. It was just like I checked Twitter and it was like, this happened. I'm like,
Well,
what the F?
it's been an issue that has been brought up with like
And I know there's been
everywhere
examples
for a
of it,
while now
yeah.
because there are leagues that will let it happen and stuff like that. But I think now it's being made like a kind of like on a federal level,
Right.
Where it's like everywhere,
Everywhere, no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that definitely stinks if you are a woman and yeah, you now have to compete with men basically. I mean, trans. I mean, it would really suck that you are, like you said, you're losing an opportunity.
Yeah, and I like when I saw that picture of that dude playing the handball, like he was massive compared to those
Yeah.
girls. Like bringing it back to like mixed martial arts and stuff like that too. I've seen videos of like wrestling matches where it's like women's wrestling and it's like a grown man going up against a girl in high school and
Right.
just suplexes her, and it's like what are we doing here? Like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about all that.
Seemed a bit short-sighted.
Yeah, just a
Say
bit,
that.
just a bit.
But
So I don't know.
I think we have hit basically all the recap topics. We are definitely going to come with a little more note cards on stuff to talk about next episode. This is just a good, I think, get back on our feet, get back into the game, tell you guys what we're working with.
Yeah.
We are going to try to come out with episodes every week. We're going to be way better about it. Honestly, between creative differences and timing differences, both of us buying a house, we just had no time.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 or 3 months, we're just gonna be honest, we stopped trying to make the time. Like we just kind of were like, oh, it'll happen when it happens, kind of thing. We weren't forcing it.
After a while, it went a little. There was that transition where, like, right around June, you were starting to buy the house, and then right after you had got yours, I got mine.
Yep.
So it was really rough for us to actually record. And then, like you said, it came one of those things where it's like no one really was hitting each other up. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to do this again. And at that point, the creative differences had just kind of started up because it kind of was like, dude, if we want to start this back up, we need to kind of generalize it on what we're going to do.
Yep.
And I think we figured that out. So now we're here. Yeah, definitely expect some content. Also, I'm hoping that we have some people who will come on the show and like help bounce ideas off of us and stuff like that. I think that could be a really cool idea. Like, this is the podcast. This is our little fucking corner of Earth, and fucking these are the people that we know, and like we can introduce them to like the whole extended crew. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody coming on here at this point because I mean our topics aren't going to be all that serious. I'd say they're a little bit more serious today, but we found out when we did the broadcast the first time around that like actually finding content on a weekly basis is a little difficult.
Yeah,
and
you have to go into the depths of the internet.
Yeah, I'm taking steps right now to actually avoid social media. Like, I know you've noticed it. I haven't been sharing memes. I haven't been posting stuff on Facebook. It was one of those things where it was like, you know what? You just need to stop wasting so much time just on meaningless shit and like actually focus. I'm still on social media, like posting stuff like when I stream or when I release my mixtape, soundcloud.com/spills. But yeah, I shared those links and all the things, so you can go check that out. But yeah, I was been really focused on doing actually work, and it's definitely working for me. So I'm motivated right now. I can definitely see us doing this on a weekly basis.
Yes.
And getting out content. So
yeah, we will make sure to give you guys good content. We're not just gonna throw episodes up to throw episodes up. We will make sure to have topics. We'll make sure to make these long enough to be worth it. I mean, so we're going to make sure that we make it as entertaining as possible. We're going to bring people on here. If you are somebody, like we said earlier, if you are somebody who thinks you're entertaining, you have something unique about yourself you want to talk about, hit us up and we'll try to bring you on. Honestly.
Share some news fucking sites that you guys get your news from, because honestly, man, like I'm trying to fill the gaps in my social media with just like reading legitimate news.
Twitter.
Been reading a lot of like space science stuff.
Okay.
You know, they're actually launching a program this year where they're going to launch a satellite or not a satellite because it's not rotating around the Earth, but they're like launching a drone up into space or whatever. And it's going to fly into an asteroid and see if we can deflect it.
Really?
Yeah, it's an actual thing. I think it's ran by NASA. They are legitimately flying spacecraft and trying to deflect asteroids and
Is
stuff.
the
It's
asteroid
like the Earth
supposed
protection
to be
program.
coming to
No,
us?
they're doing it as a way just in case that were something that would
Oh,
happen.
okay. So just as like a test.
So I think they originally, because I heard about this a couple years ago, that the whole thing was any object that has mass and density does have its own gravitational pull. Like I have a gravitational pull on you. This TV has a gravitational pull on you, and that type of stuff. So what they were gonna do is fly up like one of those spacecrafts and fly it to the asteroid, but pull it. And it would slowly just pull, so it would keyhole into our orbit and just fling around and stuff like that.
Right. Move
So
direction.
yeah, like a rough thing of time. But I think they're like, you know what? It's so vast out there, even our solar system, that if like a giant meteor was coming, we might not even know it. So let's just start practicing like nuking these things.
I'm down for that. That sounds fun as shit.
It does sound fun.
They should put a video camera. I would watch that.
Well, I think they are.
Oh, hell yeah.
Most of the stuff that dude, NASA has like 24/7 streams where you can just like go watch astronauts on the space station and just watch it like rotate around the Earth and stuff like that.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I don't
can-
know
you
if
can
I would
watch
sit there for
the,
too long. I'd watch the people exploding asteroids, though. That's like sick.
You can also watch like the Mars rover. They're flying their first drone on Mars this coming year.
A lot of shit going on in space.
Yeah, dude, it's a pretty interesting year. I love fucking space, dude. Love it.
I always like to know more about the sea. I'd like the
Dude,
weird
it's like-
creatures that are at the bottom of the ocean.
It's crazy, yeah. The like we talk about space and how vast that is. We barely know shit about.
Yeah, there's like weird numbers out there that are like we only know like
Have you ever-
3% of the ocean. It's like holy F.
Have you ever heard about the bloop? I think it's called the bloop or the bleep or something like that. It's one of the Earth's like biggest mysteries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like seismographs or whatever that measure like vibrations of the world or whatever, and like
Yeah.
sound causes a lot of vibrations. And like the loudest thing that we know is like a blue whale, and you can hear it underwater for like hundreds of miles type thing. But so these seismographs pick up whales all the time and like pick up what they're doing. There's this thing called a bloop where randomly one day it picked up something that was like 5 times the radius. Like every single one of these seismometers picked up this sound on planet Earth that made this sound. And it came from like the bottom of the ocean, and like they have no idea what the fuck it was, dude. But they were calculating it and stuff like that. And they're like, the blue whale is this big. This is how big that it has to be to make that sound, and it would just like dwarf the blue whale, dude.
That's
It's crazy. Yeah, there's some crazy mysteries, or like they have
It's also terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
That's why I don't go that deep into the ocean. The last time I went super deep in the ocean was when we were drunk in Panama.
Oh,
We tried
yeah.
to swim to the buoy.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't. When I go to
terrible
the ocean, like I will not go past like my
Yeah, I just chill
like,
out.
chest high.
Yep.
That's about it, man. I remember one time going to Fripp Island with my buddy back in high school, and like there was this
Shout
island.
out Fripp.
Yeah, there was this like abandoned island that was off Fripp Island that you could go to, and they had like a turtle research center and stuff like that. There's a little canal that goes through there, and it gets deep enough that you can't stand. And apparently, it actually goes pretty deep through that canal, but we had to swim through it, dude. It was maybe like 2-3 minutes of not being able to touch the ground, but still, I was like, oh my god, this is terrifying.
Yep, this is where I die.
Yeah, this is it. Mom, I love you. Yeah, man, but there's some crazy stuff out there. There's like the WOW graph or whatever, where like there's SETI, search for intelligent life, whatever. They literally have like radio responders and shit that like are picking up sounds from space, and like it just has random numbers and stuff that'll pop by every once in a while, picking up a sound or whatever.
Some random
Well,
thing.
for like 14 seconds or something, all of a sudden it just went wild. It picked up this sound transmission and stuff like this, and the dude circled it and put "whoa" next to it. It's like what the fuck made that sound? Because it's usually just very
Just
quiet,
nothing.
and then
Little
all of a sudden
bleeps
it
and
just
then-
went crazy, dude. Some crazy shit out there, man.
I do love talking about that random shit.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm getting on that random shit. We're at about 48 minutes right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is our first episode back. We don't got to make it too long one.
Yeah.
But basically, hit us up if you want to hop on here for an episode. You don't even have to be on here for a whole episode if you don't want to. If you want to come on here for 15, 20 minutes, talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. We're
Yeah.
always, interesting characters, always welcome.
Yeah, I had Miller to contact me today and was like, "You gonna have people over for the podcast?" And I was like, Probably not. Not like you think, but like you can come over if you want to.
Yeah, just hang
People
out.
can bounce in and out all we want. That might not be good for recording and stuff like that. So we can have like set mics.
Yeah,
and
we'll have
stuff,
to figure that out.
But yeah, we'll definitely get some people in here. Do some things. Please check out all my other social media. I link them in every time we post a new podcast. Oh please.
We're gonna have to make sure that thing stops doing that.
Yeah. It's still recording though, but
Coward.
yeah, go check out my SoundCloud. I link that. And also I'll stream. I'll be sharing a lot of stuff on the event page, so I really would appreciate some shares and getting people's stuff out there. We're gonna build something here, guys.
Your House, Our Rules on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Yes.
We need to, and then we're on all platforms on that you can get your podcasts on.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. So that should be up, and you guys can listen to that. Give us any type of feedback. Don't just give us the cookie cutter. Oh, you guys are awesome. Like, literally tell us we suck if you think we suck.
If you got something you need to say, tell us what your favorite episode was so that we can figure out a little bit more of what people are geared toward and stuff like that. So, yeah.
100%.
First episode back, episode 12 in the books.
Yep. Hey, I love you all.
Love you, Swag.
And we'll see you next episode.
Peace. Bye.
Relax.
That's how I end all my streams now. Like when I'm talking on stream or whatever. Me, Ryan, and Gibby every time we leave the lobby and say bye to each other. It's bye.